Strange fight coming up this weekend at 125 pounds. We have cold-blooded Erin Blanchfield making her UFC debut, taking on Sarah Too Sweet Alpar. And I was really excited for Blanchfield to come in on short notice, up a weight class to take on Norma Dumont. Unfortunately for me and everybody else, well, Erin Blanchfield made weight, and that would have been her first fight at 135 pounds. Norma Dumont did not, which is a story of Dumont at 135. She weighed in at 139.5.
It's the bricks in her hands. They weigh too much.
That's enough. So, Matt, ultimately we don't get that fight, and I thought that was going to be too much too soon for Blanchfield because, listen, she's one of the greatest fighters at 125 without a belt that wasn't in the UFC, and it would have been a great opportunity for her. Win, lose, or draw. Same thing. Vanessa Demopoulos got a fight not that long ago, short notice, 125. She'll move back down to 15. Might not have as much success as Blanchfield will. Might not, but a big name that you recognize. So, in this fight, it gets interesting because you can pick off some of the names on these ladies' resumes, and they're very impressive. Sarah Alpar won with LFA for the title against who, Matt?
I can't think off the top of my head.
You can't think off the top of your head. Come on. Jocelyn Edwards. Big split decision win. Then she went on Contender Series, beat Shanna Young by submission. Earns her shot. Takes on Jessica Rose Clark, and I talked about it in that fight. I might have picked Alpar in that one. I think I did.
Yeah.
I thought the wrestling advantage that she had, the size, it would have worked out great. She was going to tire out Jessica Rose Clark. And much to my dismay,
all those things happened to her.
Jessica Rose Clark almost kneed her illegally, but didn't. We had the replay for that one, and Sarah Alpar had a bad fight on her hands. So what does she do in this one? Well, she's going to move down a weight class, and hopefully for Sarah Alpar, she had a good camp coming into this one. I know there was a lot of controversy, or at least talk around fighter pay. She put out a GoFundMe because she couldn't fund her camp, couldn't make it to a fight, and that sucks. Like, Jake Paul was talking about fighters like Sarah Alpar when he was looking for more equitable pay for fighters. And listen, I'm a bad media guy because I want fighters to get paid more money. Yeah. But when I look at this one, so she's going to move down to 125 pounds. And I had to write it in my notes because this is her first fight at 125 since December 18th, 2015. Started her career at 125. That was, almost 6 years ago. Erin Blanchfield, one of the best prospects at 125 pounds. Her only loss, I think she won against Tracy Cortez over with Invicta. Cortez wins, goes on Contender Series, wins, goes to the UFC. If Blanchfield won that fight, she very well could be in the UFC, but you look at the names, they're names you know and recognize. Over with LFA, she knocked out Victoria Leonardo.
Okay, that's not that hard to do.
But 2 big head kicks and earns the knockout. She beat Brogan Walker Sanchez her last time out. Name that a lot of people know and recognize with Invicta. Erin Blanchfield, she's trained at some of the biggest gyms in New York. She's been at Renzo Gracie. She's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. She is a great ground fighter, but she's continued to make leaps and bounds, jumps and gains, I guess I want to say, in her striking, and I absolutely love that for her. Now she's at her own weight class that she's so familiar with. I don't see Sarah Alpar winning this fight.
Wow, Craig. No, here's the problem. I'm going to have the same problem with Erin Blanchfield that I do with Cyril Gahn. And I know it's a good problem to have when I'm questioning your durability, when I'm questioning how good you are as opposed to your level of competition, because you're so much better than your level of competition. But the problem is that after Saturday, after Erin Blanchfield destroys Sarah Alpar, because yes, she's going to win this fight, I'm still going to have the exact same questions. Like, as a fan, or not even as a fan, just as someone trying to look at the careers of Erin Blanchfield, trying to assume, okay, where is her ceiling? I don't think her beating Sarah Alpar is going to give her many answers towards that. I think Erin Blanchfield is going to be able to do the exact same thing Jessica Rose Clark was able to do to Sarah Alpar, because Sarah Alpar is one of those fighters who, yes, she has good wins on her record, but she's one of those fighters who, if you're a striker who needs distance, I'm going to crash that distance constantly. And it's not that I'm beating you per se, I'm just putting out your fire constantly, and I'm just making you defensive as a result from it. Erin Blanchfield doesn't need distance to strike with you, though, to win fights. She can out-grapple you, she can out-wrestle you, she can outstrike you, don't get me wrong, but it's not like she has to rely on that to win fights. I just think this is a really, really tough fight for Sarah Alpar. We saw her struggle with not only the size, but the strength of Jessica Rose Clark. Rose Clark is barely a bantamweight. Like, she used to fight at this division before moving up, so I just think this is a tough fight for Sarah Alpar. I know we haven't given a lot of ways for Alpar to win, but when you look at what Alpar does well, matches or it laps over with a lot of what Blanchfield's strengths are. And Alpar is just one of those fighters who, unless she is able to get the takedown, unless she is able to wear her opponent out, I just don't think she's going to be able to get those quality wins that we're looking for at the UFC level. It is frustrating, though, because, again, I think Erin Blanchfield should be in there with Macy Barbers of the world. Like, names like that to at least increase her star potential. I don't really think this is one of those no-win situations. You beat Sarah Alpar, that's great, you were supposed to anyways. You lose to Sarah Alpar, it's like, people didn't really think she was great. So, this is a tough situation for Blanchfield to be in, but I do think she'll be able to get the win.
I mean, Alpar has the wrestling in her back pocket. She has jiu-jitsu in her back pocket, too. I just think Blanchfield's is a little bit better. Coming in here, just having turned 22, well, since her last fight booking against Norma Dumont. She would have been 21 coming into that, Matt. The odds for this one, Blanchfield open a minus 180. She's minus 316. And if you look at it for Alpar, open a plus 135. She's plus 245. Over on Tapology, it's going to be a surprise to us as it is to you. 997 total votes, 92% Blanchfield, 82% by decision. For the 8% that have Alpar, 63% by decision. I would be fine with saying, yeah, if Alpar is going to win, definitely by decision. If Blanchfield's going to win, decision, maybe submission. I can't stress this enough, though. Again, you haven't fought at 125 in 6 years. I do worry about the weight cut for this one, too. So we'll see how Sarah Alpar makes out with that, because you almost have to beat the scale before you can win the fight, and that's something that you always worry about. I have Blanchfield in this one. I normally don't go so hard in the paint, and if I get it wrong, I look like a dink. But I've got Erin Blanchfield.
Yeah, I agree.
Both of us going with Erin Blanchfield to get the win. I think she has a great opportunity here to make a mark at the flyweight division and start to make a run. Let us know down below in the comments section if you think we went too hard, because normally we don't. Matt, we have 15 fights total on this card. Anthony Lionheart-Smith taking on Superman Ryan Spann up the top. You're not going to want to miss. Keep locked in with Fight Night Picks, as we always say. Let's get into it.